back to my channel. Today I'm going to make an almond cake. Almond cake is a traditional dessert using this type of pan. You can see how it's all rounded on the side here. It makes a really attractive dessert. I've already prepared the pan with butter, melted butter, and flour. It's really important to make sure that you do put the flour and the butter in the pan because you don't want your cake to stick and it'll ruin that nice rounded top that it has on it. I would also recommend that you don't use regular cooking spray. If you're going to use cooking spray, you should use the kind that has flour in it. But butter and flour is the best way to do it. Okay, so it's very simple. What we're going to do first is we're going to put together a couple of the dry ingredients. So first we have flour. We have 1.25 cups of flour. I'm going to put it in this small bowl, and then I'm going to combine that with 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so that just needs to be blended up. Again, very, very, very simple. Okay, all right, so now that's ready to go. So then we're going to put together some of the other ingredients that we have. So we're going to take our sugar, and this is 1.25 cups of sugar. Okay, and 1 egg. Put the egg in. Okay, this is almond extract, which gives the almond flavor. Obviously, I would use pure almond extract. This is 1.5 teaspoons. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and whisk that together. You can really smell that almond. It really smells good. Going to get another spoon and work with that. Try to get that a little bit better. Sometimes it kind of gets clogged up in the whisk, so I'm going to go ahead and use a spoon just to get this part mixed together nicely. Okay, so I've got in the sugar and the egg. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the milk. Okay, and get that stirred up there. And that was a 2/3 cup of milk. Okay, now we're getting a nice smooth mixture. Okay, now I'm going to take the flour mixture, I'm going to add that to the liquid. Okay, let's do a little bit at a time, just so it's easier and doesn't clump. To my rubber scraper so I can get that mixed in a little bit, and then I'll add that last little bit in just a second. Okay. You see it's not a real thick because you don't use a lot of flour in this cake. Okay, it's just 1.25 cups, and usually with cakes you add more, there's more dry ingredients, and so it's not a real thick batter. Okay. Together. I find it easiest just to kind of fold it until you get all that flour mixed in. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to add in my melted butter, and I have 1/2 cup of melted butter, basically 1 stick of butter. Okay, so it's not exactly low cal. Get that all mixed up. It'll take a little bit to get this mixture together, but it's almost there. Okay, now we're getting there. Okay, now that's looking really good. It's really mixed well together. Now I can really get that. Yeah, and it's also getting thicker. If you can see that, I think you can see the difference in the texture we have there. Okay, that looks great. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and add it into our neat little almond cake pan. Okay, and we're just going to fill this. Try to get it even all the way through. it will probably fill up to about 3/4 of the way full, because if it's higher than that, it might overflow in the pan. So just make sure that's all together. Okay, now this is going to go in the oven for around 15 minutes. So we'll get it in the oven and we'll be back after the cake is done. So we'll see you in just a bit. Okay, so I've gotten it out of the oven, and before you can put it on the pan, it has to cool completely. So I've let it cool completely, and now I'm just going to loosen the edges just a little bit because it does have this little rounded edge, and I want to make sure that it comes out cleanly. And I think it's going to come out good. I just saw it. Yeah, it's going to work. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to use this little pan to put it on. It's like the perfect length for that. So, little Scandinavian gnomes there. Ooh, and that worked out. Good. Okay. Awesome. Okay, that came out very easily, and that's due to the butter in the pan and the flour in the pan. And it looks, some of the butter and flour is still here, but we're going to be putting frosting on that, so that's not going to show, and it'll taste fine. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to make up the frosting that we're going to have. So the first thing we're going to use is 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. Okay, so what you want to do is you have 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of milk, and you just use as you like. If you need to use more, use more. If you want a better consistency. So I'm just going to add what we've got here, the 2 tablespoons. And I'm also going to add the vanilla extract also. And that's just a 1/2 teaspoon of that. So let's get this mixed together. And then again, if you like it to be thicker or thinner, you can always add. I think I'm probably going to add some flour. I'm going to add some powdered sugar to that. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think I'm going to add some to that. I don't think that was... I like it to be a little thicker. Okay, I think that looks more like what I want to have in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dribble this across the top here. Use my spoon and just kind of go straight down. And with the ridges, it's going to kind of run down the sides on its own, and it should cover everything you want to cover. So I'm just going to keep running it down the middle like this. And it gets kind of a fun look because it's going down those ridges. There you go. All right. All right, and lastly, we want to add our slivered almonds to that. So I'm just going to sprinkle these across the top. As many or as few as you like. I think that looks about good. And that is our finished product. And now we need to see how it tastes. This is my husband Joe. He's going to be the taster. All right, Joe, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So, let me just do this. I'm going to give you an inner piece. How's that? Okay. You, and I will take a piece. He's Italian. He's not Scandinavian, but that's okay. Okay, let's take it. See what we think. Let me know. What do you think?
Delicious.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's really good.
Almond cake. So if you want this recipe, check my blog, nordickknowhow.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you the next time.